Which do you think is more important for your life, imagination or knowledge? It's a tough question. Now, what if you were a scientist like Albert Einstein? Would cold hard knowledge matter more, or the ability to dream up new ideas? Einstein himself had a surprising insight on this. He famously said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." Hello and welcome back to the Wisdom and Compassion community. Today we're exploring why one of the greatest geniuses of all time valued imagination over knowledge, and what he really meant by that quote. It's a statement that might sound like a creative slogan, but Einstein's perspective was deeper and more practical than you might expect. So let's dive in and discover more of Einstein's surprising insight. Picture this. It's 1919 and scientists have just confirmed Einstein's new theory of gravity, general relativity, by observing a solar eclipse. Einstein had predicted that the sun's gravity would bend starlight, something no one had verified before. When the experiment proved him right, reporters were astonished. Einstein explained that he already felt certain his theory was correct even before seeing the evidence. He was basically saying that his intuition and imagination told him the answer before knowledge from experiments caught up. In an interview that year, a journalist asked Einstein if he truly trusted his imagination more than his knowledge. Einstein replied, "I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world." These words would become legendary. But what did he mean? Was Einstein dismissing knowledge as unimportant? Not at all. To understand his insight, we need to see the full context. In that exchange, Einstein wasn't saying facts don't matter. He was highlighting that knowledge, the facts and information we have at any given time, is by nature limited to what is already known. By 1919, physics knowledge could explain a lot, but it couldn't yet explain the bending of starlight that Einstein's theory predicted. No one had measured it happen until that eclipse. So knowledge in this sense is what we already know and have proven. Einstein's imagination, on the other hand, was his ability to envision something new, to predict outcomes and the possibilities beyond the currently established facts. In his case, imagination let him picture how gravity might warp space and how starlight would behave near the sun, even before anyone had witnessed it. So when Einstein said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge," he was encouraging us to look beyond the current frontiers of what we know and into what could be. He believed imagination embraces the entire world. It opens up unlimited possibilities, whereas knowledge, however vital, gives us only the established pieces of the puzzle. Imagination is what connects those pieces in new ways and pushes progress forward. In fact, Einstein later wrote that imagination stimulates progress, giving birth to evolution in scientific research. In other words, every big leap in understanding starts with someone daring to imagine beyond the known. To Einstein, imagination wasn't some fluffy daydreaming. It was a practical tool for discovery. As a 16-year-old student, he conducted one of his most famous thought experiments entirely in his head. He imagined chasing after a beam of light through space. He pondered, what would I see if I caught up to that light beam? This mental vision occupied him for years. Ultimately, it led to his theory of special relativity, a revolutionary idea that redefined space and time. Think about that, a teenager's imaginative daydream about riding on a light beam eventually changed physics forever. Einstein often described himself as enough of an artist to use imagination freely. He wasn't literally painting on canvas, but in his mind he painted pictures of how the universe works. He visualized scenarios like chasing light or riding in an elevator in free fall to intuitively grasp principles of physics. These Gedanken experiments, or thought experiments, were where his breakthroughs were born. It's a powerful reminder that creative thinking isn't just for artists or writers. It's central to science and innovation. Einstein's scientific genius flowed not just from knowing a lot of physics, which he did, but from his ability to imagine possibilities that no one else had considered yet. And this isn't only true for Einstein. Every great human advancement began with imagination. The Wright brothers imagined a flying machine when knowledge at the time said a heavier-than-air aircraft was impossible. Thomas Edison imagined harnessing electricity in a light bulb long before one ever successfully stayed lit. From curing diseases to exploring space, scientists and inventors first dreamed it in their mind's eye, then used knowledge and hard work to make it real. Imagination carries us to worlds that never were, but without imagination, we go nowhere. That quote from astronomer Carl Sagan beautifully echoes Einstein's point. Only with imagination can we leap into new frontiers. Knowledge alone keeps us treading familiar ground. Now you might be thinking, all right, imagination is crucial, but doesn't knowledge still matter? Absolutely. Einstein's insight isn't that knowledge has no value. In fact, he called knowledge the prerequisite to any intelligent work. It's just that knowledge by itself is not enough to achieve breakthroughs. Consider knowledge as the foundation or the fuel, and imagination as the engine that uses that fuel to drive into new territory. You need both. One innovation expert called this a both-and paradox. To do something remarkable, you need a deep knowledge of the subject and a capacity to create things that don't yet exist. Knowledge feeds your imagination, and imagination expands upon your knowledge. The danger comes if we misinterpret Einstein's quote to mean facts don't matter, just be creative. Einstein himself would disagree with that. A humorous example by psychologist Nate Cornell makes this clear. Telling someone imagination beats knowledge is like telling a shot putter that muscles don't matter, only lungs do. Sure, lungs, like basic knowledge, are so fundamental we take them for granted, but without them, you won't even get off the ground. Likewise, if you ignore learning and knowledge, your imagination will have nothing solid to work with. Imagination works best when it's grounded in understanding. A fertile imagination sprouts from the soil of knowledge. Einstein's own life reflects this balance. He was extremely knowledgeable in physics. He mastered the known science of his day by studying intensively. But what set him apart was how he then transcended the ordinary by asking, "What if?" and picturing scenarios others thought impossible. He combined rigorous knowledge with childlike wonder. So rather than imagination versus knowledge as a fight, think of it as a partnership. Knowledge answers questions, and imagination asks new ones. Knowledge defines what is already true. Imagination points to what might be possible. Einstein's insight also carries a message for our everyday lives beyond laboratories and equations. Imagination isn't just about scientific discoveries. It's at the heart of art, innovation, and even empathy and compassion. When we read novels or watch films, we exercise our imagination by stepping into the characters' shoes, envisioning their lives. This ability to imagine someone else's experience is what we call empathy. By imagining how others feel, we become more understanding and compassionate. In a way, Imagination lets us expand our circle of compassion to embrace experiences beyond our own. As Einstein himself once wrote, our task is to widen our circles of compassion to embrace all living creatures, and doing so requires an imaginative leap of empathy. So how can we cultivate our imagination? One way is to keep a sense of curiosity and playfulness. Einstein famously said he had no special talent other than passionate curiosity. Try engaging in activities that spark your creativity. Read fiction, explore art or music, brainstorm wild ideas with friends, or just give yourself permission to daydream. Even daydreaming is not wasted time. It's when your mind wanders that it can form new connections and ideas. Another tip is to approach problems with questions rather than immediate judgments. Instead of thinking, I don't know how to solve this, ask, what if there were a way? How might it look? This shift opens your imaginative mind. And of course, keep learning new things. Feed that knowledge. Because the more you know, the more material your imagination has to work with. In the end, Einstein's surprising insight that imagination is more important than knowledge is a call to embrace the unknown. Knowledge is our treasure of what humanity has discovered so far. We absolutely need it. But imagination is what expands that treasure. It's the frontier. As Einstein put it, knowledge is limited to what we know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to know. Imagination is the rocket that takes us from the world of what is into the universe of what could be. So, the next time you're weighing imagination versus knowledge, remember that it's not really a contest at all. Use knowledge as your solid ground and let imagination be your wings. Embrace facts and wisdom, but give yourself permission to dream beyond them. After all, progress in science, in society, and in our personal lives happens when vision outpaces certainty. In Einstein's own life, it was his ability to envision the unseen that unlocked the secrets of the cosmos. And in our lives, tapping into that same imaginative spirit can unlock our own potential. Knowledge shows us what is, but imagination shows us what could be. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep imagining the possibilities.